Hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So we will start the session in just a minute, and we should be rolling it out soon. Thank you all for being on time. We wanted to start at 11 sharp, but as you know, people were just walking in, so we thought we'll wait for another 10 minutes. Just a minute, and we'll start the session. Meanwhile, as we are just going to start, I'll just ask a few things which will help me to understand the audience. How many of you all are engineers here? Great. And others are science graduates or commerce graduates or some other professional degrees. Commerce, great. All right, great. Yeah. Sciences, great. Yeah. Humanities, wow, that's nice. Yeah. All right. So I'm glad that we have a mixed cohort so that I can have few of the examples for all of you. That makes it more better. Apart from US and Germany, are there any interests for any other countries that you're looking out for? Or is it bang on US and Germany in your mind? Yes? New Zealand. Okay, great. That's nice. UK. Wow, I love that country. Yeah? UK. Great. Rest mostly targeting US and Germany. Yeah? That's nice. All right. I will be starting now. I'll be starting now. Rishi, I think they'll keep coming. I'll start the session. Yeah? All right. Once again, a warm welcome from Education Street and the entire team for being here on a Sunday morning. And finally, the rain gods today have been very kind that we could move out of our houses with more willingness rather than being dragged and pushed. Because on a Sunday, you definitely need that, push to come out of your home. So thank you so much to make it, and thank you, weather gods, to be very kind to us. I would just say, all of us, let's take a deep breath because we have come from a lot of different places and stuff. Just to be where we are right now and just to be present where we have to be now. So, this way, we'll start the session. We all know it's a masterclass, a workshop today to understand two very prominent countries for studying abroad aspirants, and that's US and Germany. We are catering to two very drastically opposite countries, I would say. So there's a lot to understand. Of course, that will give you a very broad spectrum of thoughts and ideas about how they work. To do so, I'm going to first cover US and then I'm going to continue with Germany. Okay, you would get the differences. You will get understand the process and stuff very deeply. And after that, I would be rolling down for questions. Yeah, so that's the start that we would be doing. Madhvi, yeah. So the agenda, as I just said, we will talk about both the countries. We will talk about the application process, the education cost, job trends, return of investment, and application money, which is very important. I see a lot of parents involved here. Yes, because you should be knowing how much money is going to go out of your pocket, and it should be very comfortable for you as well. So yes, we are going to talk on those topics as well. Moving further, yeah, I think people who arrived early all have already heard a lot about me, that AI video going bang on again and again and talking about me and sharing about me. So just to quickly introduce myself, I'm Ankita. I'm the director of Education Street. As a lot of you all said, you're an engineer. Hi there. Even I'm an IT engineer. And after my IT engineering, I worked as software engineer with Tech Mahindra. Post that, I gave my GMAT and I went for my MBA to University of Leeds. I studied my MBA. I did a counseling diploma. Then I was not aware I'm going to be a counselor at one stage, but I had an interest towards it, and I did a counseling diploma with UK Council. After my MBA, I was recruited by British Petroleum in London, and I worked there for a year and a half, and still struggling, still hustling and trying to find my way. I came down, I left my job. In 2010, I started Education Street. So it's been glorious 13 years, a decade and more. I love to say that because this is exactly where my passion lied, right from IT to finance to now. Looks like a lot of confused person, but I would say it all falls in place for me today because I've explored myself, I've exposed myself. So saying this, it makes me much more comfortable in what seat I am today. So this has been 13 years sending students across varied parts of the entire world and different genres, engineering, sciences, architecture, medicine, you name it, and we have done that. And not alone, this is all possible because of my team, which has been very, very strong with me for the last 13 years. We are Mumbai based, we are in Mulund, but of course we cater to students across India because I think technology has opened a lot more gateways for all of us. So this was quickly about me. Now moving further, we will first introduce you to the US education system. So as I was saying that I'm first going to talk about US and then I'm going to cater to Germany. Just a request, just to keep a little housekeeping check here. Please have your mobile on silent. Yeah, please have your mobile on silent mode. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So saying this, the US education system. Yeah. These are few bullet points which I want to talk about because this is something which will help you all to understand firstly how US works. Okay. US duration. So the master's degree, I'm assuming all of you all are for masters here, correct? Yeah. So saying this, the master's degree duration normally would be 2 years. Yeah. But some specialized degree, like you might have heard some BA, like a business analytics or say AI, artificial intelligence. Some of them may be for a year or a year and a half. Yes, it is debatable whether I should go for 2 or 1 and a half year. Right now, at this point, do not worry about the duration of the course because, unlike any other country, even if it is 1.5 year or 2 year, but it is from STEM. Do you all see STEM courses? Science, technology, engineering, and maths. If your course falls under that, you are given a 3 year OPT, that is optional practical training. Why am I bringing in the start? Because this is what you need to know first whether US is suitable for you or not. Someone mentioned she's from humanities, right? Yeah? Hi. Yeah. So humanities do not fall under STEM, right? So you have to be a little more aware that what it will offer you and what it will not offer you. So say if your degree do not fall under STEM, like a master's in management, few of you were commerce students, right? A master's in management in US may directly not fall under STEM. That means I get only 1 year stay back option. However, all engineers or science students or technology students, you have 3 year OPT. That is a 3 year stay back option after your degree. So if I'm someone who want to understand how my future would be, if I'm going to put 40, 50 lakhs to study in US, I would require at least 2 to 3 years to return that money. Yeah. So that is a wise decision to take in whether it is suitable or not. A lot of degrees have been converted into STEM because they see, universities also see that students are not coming for their normal programs. So a lot of masters of management have made masters in management science, or they're involved business analytics, open for any student. So that's why they have made a lot of STEM programs. Yeah. So saying this is where the counseling comes in picture, and we do offer that, but I'm introducing to the concept because these are very important terminologies. Internships are available in US. So typically, if you go for fall intake, US has two intakes, right? Fall and spring. That is September and January every year. Okay. Now, if you're going for September intake, after your 2 semesters, you're allowed to do an internship. Okay. If you go in spring, that is the coming intake, that is the January intake, you cannot do an internship just after a semester. You'll have to wait for 3 semesters and then do your internship. Yeah. So that is how the things vary in it. That is how the structure of US vary. So these are few things which I wanted to talk, and of course about H1B, because we all as Indians are very sensitive how long we can stay in that country, right? If I am someone who's looking out for a very long term stability in terms of citizenship or permanent residency, let me tell you, US is not the country to be. Yeah, though we send maximum students to US, but I'm putting it here because yes, it is difficult getting a green card in US. If you want that, then as someone very rightly said, he wants to go to New Zealand as a second option. New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, Canada, and UK now, because they've all opened up permanent residency. They have a PR prospect for you. Yeah. So this is how you choose your country depending on what your requirement is. H1B is a work visa that you get every 3 years as a lottery system. There are 85,000 seats, out of which 20,000 is personally reserved for students, international students, but rest 65,000 is general, that means students plus working professional apply for it. So 85,000, but a system which is very debatable, it is lottery system. It's like really funny that a country like US is giving you a visa on term of a lottery base, but not a requirement base. But that is how it is. Is it going to change in near future? I don't see that, because the kind of steps they have to take to change that procedure is far more, right? So saying this, I need OPT. I need that 3 year stay back option. So if you are going for a non-STEM degree, you are making a decision of your own. You will get only 1 year stay back option. A STEM degree will only get a 3 year stay back option. In 3 years, that means I have 3 cycles from my employer to get this H1B. Ek saal nahi hua, I can apply for the next. The third, because H1B cycle happens, lottery happens only once a year in the month of October or something. Yeah. So that's how it is. It is something which you all should be aware about. So if you have OPT, you have 3 cycles. That gives me a relief. 3 cycles is more than enough for you. Yeah. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, we have two intakes, fall and spring. Fall is the September intake, Jan is the spring intake. Right now, we are in the almost the month of August that we have arrived. Students are flying now for this September intake. So of course, I hope nobody has come for with hopes of going for this September. Yeah. So we are all looking forward to go either September next year or January next year. Yeah. Who's looking for Jan 24 here? Is there anybody? Great. All right. For September 24. Cool. Yeah. All right. For September 24. Okay. So if you see the deadlines is this year, November, January. So it's not like, oh, I have a lot of time. So let's kill that dream or kill that procrastination that you have. If you want to go for next September 24, you have to start now. It's almost a year prior. September intake is the main intake. That means 100% universities and courses are open. Everything is open. January, only 50% of the colleges or courses are open. Apart from that, is there any problem with it? You're considering for Jan, there's no other problem for it. Okay, it's not true if people say that there are no jobs, there are no employers. No, that's not true. A company won't work how the university is working, right? A job position won't be open just because the university students are passing out of it. It is purely on the requirement, which is year on. Yeah. The only difference which is there in the January intake is there are limited choices. But if your university that you want to apply, there's almost like 4,000 plus universities. That means, of course, I still have a lot to apply in January. Saying this, if I am getting what I really want to, Jan is really nice to apply as well. Yeah. So this is there for January also. People who raise their hand, you have to apply just in August. Yeah. So that is how quick you have to be into. Okay. Apart from that, I just mentioned the internship part in January. It will be after 3 semesters. US has 2 years, so 4 semesters, yearly 2 semesters. So in 2 years, 4 semesters. In fall, after 2 semesters, you will do internship. In spring, you will do after 3 semesters. That's the difference that you need to understand. Yeah. So this is how the intakes run in, and that is how you should plan accordingly. Now, shortlisting universities. Yes, we all know there are ample of choices to apply for US, and that adds a lot of confusion, right? A lot of things you are aware of it already. Always feel Mumbai students are way aware, present, and are really clear on what they want to do. That's a good part. But the choices are too many to make. Too many. If you see any country, you typically apply to 7 to 8 universities. Yeah. Why only 7 to 8? I will talk about it. But normally you apply 7 to 8 or maximum 10 universities. To choose among, even like forget 4,000, even if my course is there in around say 200 universities, okay, and I have to make a choice of those only 7 to 8 universities. Just imagine the amount of FOMO every student goes through. And FOMO is for real, right? We all go through it, right? So the fear of missing out is so much built into us that we are always very concerned whether, am I making the right choice or not? Now here, the right choice should be very specific to you and not something like, oh, my friend is doing this, oh, my senior did this, oh, this one did this thing, or I read something and I found out that, someone has got through at 60% say into Carnegie Mellon. You know, this is something which ruins your chances because you're not doing what is applicable to you, but taking little bit from here, little bit from here, little bit from here, and actually making a complete soup out of your application and then not getting a desired. Selecting and shortlisting your universities has to be under these four parameters. One is your aggregate. What is the CGPA or percentage that you're holding? It is the most important. It's, I would say, a paramount importance is given to this by the admission officer. I understand we have not done in the first year better or we have not done something, but they want all semesters. If someone is living in a dream that I'll perform the best in my final year, that's where I show my entire intelligence. Sorry, guys, your first to your last semester, everything is checked by them. In fact, last semester is not there also. Most of the students apply while they're studying, right? Yeah. So students who are there in their final year, who's going to go for say fall 24, you're right now in your fall, you're going to apply this November, December. Do you have your seventh or eighth semester result? No, right? So what you have done is what is going to matter. Yeah. So this is very critical here, that this is where you have to make right choices. So don't go by, some exception where you have read, which even it is not authenticated, because someone has written, you're all free to write whatever you want to write online. So that is why it's very important to, understand your profile, your GRE scores. Now there's big, applications or ads and stuff. Without GRE, you can apply to US. Is it true? Yes, it is. It is true. But does that mean that I should go in, or what is what I'm missing out of it? Let me tell you that. Yeah. After COVID or while COVID, a lot of universities in US actually dropped GRE because there were no tests happening, right? Yeah, to support that situation, a lot of US universities started diluting GRE. Now, then if GRE is not there, that means the whole focus comes here, right? Yeah. So in this case, there are still universities post-COVID also have continued doing that. Okay. Now, if I have a good grade or a good percentage, great. Okay. But there are still a lot of universities which are now coming back with GRE option. Today I see no GRE. After a month, they may just come up with a new requirement. Yeah. Now, if you ask me whether I should take GRE or not, okay, I would always suggest and recommend, if you have time, okay, if you're like you're going to go for fall 24, you still have time, right? You should take GR, is what my suggestion would be. Now, why is it so? Why am I saying this? Because you uplift your chances in two ways. One, to get admission into the better university, and second, to attract scholarship. We all look for that, right? As Indians, we are sensitive and we want it. Why not? Right? Saying this, if you can, you have the time bandwidth and also the mental ability to do it, you should take it up. I understand you take it up and you don't get a good score. Please don't have hard feeling. Let me tell you, even parents are here. Let me tell them also, it's a difficult test. It is not a judgment or an indicator of your child's mental ability. No, it is not. But he or may try. If doesn't happen, it's okay. But if we can achieve, it is better. If it doesn't, then of course we'll fall for the universities which are not accepting. And I hope you have a good grade, because then I would be able to push you to the better universities and stuff, right? So saying this, GRE is recommended, and I would always say it will give you better options. At the end, you will be the winner. Yeah, that's how it is. Projects and internships and extracurriculars. A lot of GRE waiver scheme goes on with a lot of universities marketing about it. Okay, that's where you need to understand, guys, what is marketing and what is real thing. A lot of information which we are bombarded with is also what they want you to hear, or also what they want you to go by. I understand a lot of them do it, even you have heard it, but you have to have that smartness to actually understand what is right and what is not. Yeah, so these are the few things. I would say the most important part is this. Okay, of course, little bit of these two, which is almost like 10%, the projects and internships and stuff. The next would be GRE or the TOEFL or an IELTS exam. Yeah, that is very, very critical in it. Okay. Now, how many universities? So I was saying, right, 7 to 8 universities. I was restricting there because it's very expensive. If you see the maths that I've done here, every university, the fees, the application fee to apply a US university ranges from $50 to $100. Yeah, saying this, even if I do 7 universities with an average of a $75, it is approximately 37-40,000 rupees. The more I do, the more expensive it becomes. That means I have to have a good strategy to select those 7 or 6 universities wisely. I just can't blindly keep adding universities. So it's a science, it's a strategy. It is something that you need to pay attention to. And if you start early, you will get that time. If you don't, then you will just be in the rush of, meeting up the requirements and stuff. So that is why it's very critical that you apply to universities. This is also where the marketing falls in place. No application fee waiver, like no application fee, sorry. So they give you an application fee waiver so that you apply to it, right? There's nothing wrong to it. It is the model that works in that. Of course, you see that you save your $75, but just imagine the kind of fees that you're going to pay later on, whether it's the right university for you or not, whether are you going under the belt university for your profile. These are the questions which I want you all to ask to yourself when you're actually going for these schemes. Even we have application fee waiver. I'm talking about me as well. But you have to understand that whether this university is rightly for your profile, or you're just applying because there's an application fee waiver. Are you looking out to save that $75, or are you there to make your most better or the most better version of yourself? Right? So these are certain questions that you need to ask yourself. Now, when you do that, you have to categorize. So whenever you do that, you have to categorize your universities into 3 stages: safe ones, moderate, and ambitious. Safe is wherein you know almost 90% chances are that you will get through. Moderate is 60%, and ambitious is 20%. No university can ever be 100%. If anybody tells you, "I'll get you here, you're done, you're sorted, don't worry about it," don't apply, because that is somewhere it is like a clear walk-in for you. It is like they want students. They just want the number and the fees that you can pay in. It doesn't have to be easy, guys. Nothing comes easy. Neither there are no free lunches. Have you got free lunch anytime? Anywhere? No, right? We all know there are no free lunches. You are always, you do not be the product. If there's anything free, then you're the product. You're being sold. It's a very important point that I'm telling you here, because if it is free, you are the product which is going to be sold. Yeah, so please do not fall for that. Make your wise choices about it. Yeah, so this is how the universities come in picture, and you need to actually apply accordingly. Yeah, normally save 2 to 3, moderate 3, ambitious 3, depends on what number you choose. If you say 9, then you can go 3, 3, 3 each. If you go 8, you split it accordingly. I have students where we have helped them apply only ambitious and moderate also. Now that depends on the profile of the student, right? I have 9 pointers, I have a good GRE, I have good extracurriculars. I can, of course, I should go for applying for more, ambitious this thing. So everyone needs to understand their profile and then make a strategy. That's where personalized counseling comes in picture. If one rule fits all, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not the best strategy. It has to be a personalized strategy for you, for you, for you, because you all are different with different profile and different courses that you're going in for. Right now, humanity students need not worry about GRE, because most of the humanity programs would not require a GRE. Yeah, so it's a different story for each one of you all. Yeah, university ranking. Now everybody starts understanding university by understanding the ranking, right? The first thing that we do is, what is the rank of this university, or give me the top 10, or give me the top 50 rank. Lot of websites would come in. Now these websites also would be a lot marketing websites, where they want you to know that which university they have and which how rank they are. They are only publishing their own ranks. I would say follow. These are just few tips. Sorry, it's blue, usnews.com and ft.com, or QS ranking. These are the few pages which you can look for actual rankings if you want to. But this can always act as just a starter. Why? Because say I will just talk about, say, a university, NCSU, okay, North Carolina State University. It has an excellent computer science program. It ranks almost, say, the 22nd or a 25th rank in US, okay. However, there would be, say, other page would say some other university as, the 20th or 25th, and NCSU would be way behind, because that's how people change the notion or the point of view of it. If you really want to know, go on these ranking. Also, NCSU may be ranked very high for computer science, but not for architecture. So that ranking doesn't match to your requirement. So that is why different websites are there for different, courses and stuff. So you may go for these. Now, to apply to US, what are the material which is required? Okay, there's a list which requires, typically these are the similar things for Germany also. I do talk about the difference for Germany as well. These documents are very, very time consuming. It is not something which is very easy or difficult. I mean, it's not difficult, but it's time consuming. It requires a lot of efforts, because first of all, transcripts, who gives it? College is okay. Yeah, so your college, most of the college I know in Mumbai takes at least 15 to 20 days. Correct? So you're dependent on someone else. Okay. Second, statement of purpose, dependent on you, takes all the more time. Any dependency on you, because unfortunately we're so used to now the auto correction, auto prompt. Now the chat GPT has come in, and there's no way or no, what do you say, purpose where we have to write something on our own. Yeah, even a happy birthday message is like a forward, right? You find the best forward in your Google search and you make it happen that way. But unfortunately, it is 2 pages about you. You've not written a single line about us. How to write a 2 pages, Now that something becomes very, very daunting to the students, because they really don't know what to write about themselves. And then we have to push them, okay, did you do this? Did you do this? It's a marketing tool, guys. An SOP is a marketing tool which is only there in your hand. In the entire application process, this is the only document in your hand. Is the US admission officer going to take your interview? Are they going to take an interview for a master's? No, right? How are they judging you or your character? By reading this. Now, this also, if you do chat GPT, Just imagine how many of you all are going to use ChatGPT, and how different is it going to be? It's not going to be. So yes, you have to write on your own. You have to talk about your hobbies, your character. It is not about like I studied, a course of nanotechnology or this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. No, it's not about that. I studied this subject and I really found the concepts of these days. I implemented in this. It's basically your journey. How did you grow? There would be someone who's changing careers, like how I did, right? From IT to finance. I had to explain myself, right? Why am I doing this? Same way you might be changing from some other clothes to other. I'm a hiker or I'm someone who plays music. I can start my para with that. It's not necessary to talk about only academic achievements. We may not have also, right? But there are other angles which we may have. I'm someone who loves art. I'm someone who loves reading. So that is how I have to bring a human out of me in that, because the admission officer there is reading this to understand that there's some real person sitting behind this document and not a robo. Yeah. So that's where it is time consuming, and you need to. We have editors. We do not ghost write. We take your rough story and we provide that help to enhance and edit it further. So there's a support to prompt you. Oh, what about this? What about this? Did you do this? So that's how we work with. Okay. Then we require letter of recommendation. 3 letter of recommendation required. Either from your teacher, either from your project guide, either from your internship if you have done any, or if you're a working professional, then your employer. Yeah. So these are few things which can come in picture. This again takes time because either they're not there on their seat, or they don't have time, or they're traveling, or they're holiday, and a lot many things. And now US, you're applying for 7 universities. If we just did the maths, just imagine 7 universities writing them to upload this letter of recommendation. So 7 universities. So please pick up a person who will be little tech savvy and also abide, entertaining you for this 7 times. Yeah. So you have to be very critical. You don't have to go for a recommender who is very high authority or something that way. No, he or she has to be someone who's in touch with you and who can do this for you. Yeah. Then your CV, degree certificate, extracurricular, financial documents differs from country to country. We will explain you once we actually get into it. So it's a good amount of work to be done. Yeah. Now SOP I just spoke already, so I will go on the next this thing. LORs also I spoke about it already. So your professors, project guide, HOD, employer, it has to be one pager on a letterhead of the school or the college or the company. Yeah, those are the things how it has to be. Now coming to the most important and the critical, how much will it cost me? Yeah, we all need to understand it very well because it is a financial decision to make. Yeah. Saying this, in US, the fees vary a lot. If you see the range that I've put in is almost 12 lakh to 18 lakh. Does it mean it doesn't go higher than 18 lakh? No, it does go more than 18 lakh also. But I'm giving you a range. Normal fees would go between 12 to 18. Okay, per year. It's a 2-year degree. Correct? Now, why do the fees vary? Firstly, rankings. Higher the university, higher the fees. Yeah. So if I am someone who's looking out to go to Columbia, the fees is going to be obnoxious. The fees is almost $60,000 a year, which is not even close to what I'm talking about. But if I'm someone who's already aware that I have the grades, I want to go to the top notch, I will apply to UT Austin. The fees is $20,000. So are there difference in university? They are same very well ranked university, but you're getting what you want because that's the strategy that you apply to the universities. Because that's where you have to be aware that even the private and public universities are there. Private university like Columbia would have very high fees, but a public university like UT Austin or NCSU, as I mentioned, okay, would have very lesser fees. So if I set my budget right in the start, you need to understand with your parents, this is what I would be comfortable with. We shortlist universities according to that. But at the end, you get admits like, several, and most of them you applied was for private. Can you do anything about it? No, right? So you have to plan again in the stage 1, that is your shortlisting of your universities. Location, credit hours. Location is, of course, again, Boston, New York, Los Angeles, primary cities, right? Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, primary cities. We have more fees. We also know our cost of living. Like we're staying in such cramped houses and paying so much of money for it, right? But same thing if you go to Nagpur, Nasik, such good cities, but it's not that expensive out there. Similarly, you have to make a conscious decision. I want to save money. I'm okay to go to, say, Oregon. I'm ready to go to, Amherst. I'm ready to go to, other places, Ohio. That's where your decision comes in place. Yeah. Your living cost. The next cost which comes to you as a parent is basically your living cost, which is your stay, your rent, your groceries, your utility bills, and ad hoc. So typically that would be around 7 to 9 lakh rupees per year again. This cost most of the students remove on their own by working part time. Yeah, they can remove on their own by working part time. We'll talk about that as well. Now, this cost you can save again if you are in a city, because rent is a major component, you see, right? New York, it is going to be obnoxiously high. But if I go to Indianapolis or I go to other places, I can North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, I may be able to reduce my cost. That's exactly where you choose your university wisely. That's why, again, I come back. Every decision of yours will become possible if you choose rightly at the stage 1, that is shortlisting on your universities. But if you go behind, oh, I'm getting an application fee waiver, but understand that's a New York university and a private university. At the end, you save that $75, but what about the rest? Here, you're going to pay almost $20,000, $25,000 extra. So don't be foolish, don't be short-sighted, look for the long-term benefit that you are going there. Now, cost on my own. As I said and mentioned to you all, every student is allowed to work part-time. Yeah, every student is allowed to work part-time. That means that is an ability and extra work. I want to actually say it's very, very difficult to do all of this together. I don't want you all to go with a rosy picture in mind that, oh, it's going to be nice shape, like garden and nice university, and there's nice breeze coming in and I'm sitting under a tree and reading a book. Nothing of that sort will happen. Sorry, I'm cracking that image, because you will absolutely not have time even to walk into the garden which is there just below your building. Why? Because you're occupied with the lectures, the assignments, the part-time job, the grocery, cleaning your bathroom, ironing your clothes, reading extra because there's no fixed textbook. So many things that you're really, really occupied and you may feel overwhelmed. If you want comfort, this is where you are already. You have everything set here in India. It's good also. I would not say it is wrong. You have everything. You have your parents who take care. The only thing that you have to do is go to college, study, and come back. Your food is ready, your room is ready, your everything else is ready. But over there, it's overwhelming. But that's where you get out of your comfort zone and actually achieve what you want to, and that's yourself first. Because you actually figure out who you are and what you want to do, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and that's exactly it blends the best and brings the best. After 6 months, you can proudly say you're the new version of yourself, because that's the confidence that comes in you. Yeah. So saying this, if you are ready for this, this is possible. $10 to $14 per hour. Yeah. So the maths that I've done per week, per month, per year, you almost in a year you can earn $9,600, which is approximately 7 lakhs. That's where your living cost comes from. Yeah. Whether you can do that or not, that is up to you, because that's how you have to be charged. If you're very lethargic, you're very lousy, you cannot meet timelines, you cannot go on time, you cannot wake up on time, you can't do any of this. So let's be realistic. Yeah. Now, very important, the holistic return on investment. So say as parents and as your student, you are going to spend around say $50,000 in the education at US. In this case, your average salary, I'll talk about the salary in the next slide. Typically a master's student after, in US, any of them what you're talking about, may earn between $65,000 to $70,000 a year. More than that possible? Yes, possible. But I'm again counting here the least amount. Yeah, saying this, if I get this money, the tax, every state has different tax. Texas doesn't have, some other don't have, but I'm counting the highest, which is 33%. So I remove the tax of 2300, the income left is 46,900. Now that expenses, now earlier I had mentioned the expenses would be around $700. Now I'm counting $2,000 per month. Why? Because now I'm a working professional. I have more better lifestyle. I may not live in that cramped up house with 4 roomies. I am a working professional, so I'm giving that, that mode and that lifestyle that you all would require. You may buy a car, you may have a studio apartment and stuff. So I've increased it to $2,000 per month because I'm a working professional now, right? So agreed. Saying this $2,000, $24,000 per year. So now my savings come to around 22,900 per year. What do I do with this money? I return my money to my parents or the loan, right? So typically an Indian student returns their money in 2 to 2.5 years or say 3 years. That's why the OPT which I mentioned in the start is very important. At least I should be able to stay in that country until I remove this money. Your parents need it or not, but you should be considering to stay in that country because that's exactly where you create your value, right? Post that, you do whatever you want to. You come back to India. India is a flourishing country. It's really, really nice to be here. Whatever you decide, that is your choice. Yeah. So saying this, you have to go for a 3 year stay back so that you can return this money. It's not a magic that it can be done in a day or two. So when you take loan, most of you will go for educational loan, right? This is the planning that you should have in mind. The parents also, because at the end you're there, but they are supporting a loan here. So that is also very critical for them to understand how long they'll have to support you. Yeah. So this is how the expenses come in picture. Now when you go for visa, you need to show 1 year tuition fee and 1 year living cost. Why am I bringing 7 is a living? I have to show that much to get my I-20. I-20 is the official visa letter from the university to go for the visa ahead. Yeah, how to do that, what to do that, that's exactly what our counseling involves, everything. Here we're not talking about us, but we're talking about what all you'll have to do to go to US. It's a long process. Yeah. And what are the acceptable funds? So students and parents normally think, oh, I have property, I can show, gold and stuff, but that's not acceptable. The only way you can show this money is liquid format. Either it has to be fixed deposit, it has to be in savings account, PF, it could be educational loan, current account or LIC. These are the only acceptable funds. Your non-acceptable funds is basically gold, shares, mutual funds, property papers. So a lot of the parents have investment in this, but they're not acceptable, and then it becomes a shock to them. Because ab kaise dikhaya, right, paisa? The most prominent way and tool is educational loan. Okay? But if not, then they cannot show funds in this format. That's why again and again I'm saying the process starts way earlier. You have to give time to your parents also to arrange this much money. It's not a joke. So they also have to be aware. They also have to be a part of the counseling because your wish can only be granted by them. And how lovely they are that they always support you in whatever ways they can. They push, they stretch, they do all possible things to actually support you in your dreams. Saying this, that is why it's important to let them know that what is to be done. Yeah? Okay. Now, what are the popular jobs? There are ample of it. We know US is like the big daddy when it comes to studying abroad. A lot of our seniors, our juniors, not juniors, our seniors, our neighbors, our cousins, सबका किसी ना कोई तो यूएस में होता ही है. So that is also a comfort zone because the good part is a lot of us Indians have proven a legacy out there. Employers इतना तो doubt नहीं करते अभी कि Indians काम करेंगे कि नहीं, right? Because I think we've proven a legacy. Most of the tech companies, most of the companies you mentioned, how proudly we say that that the top-notch people are Indians, right? Saying this, we have proven our legacy because they know we are hardworking, they know we are smart, they know that we are tech savvy. So that says a lot of these industries you will be able to promise to get a job out there. Yeah. So most of the trending or most of the things are IT, automotive, aerospace, chemistry and biotechnology, energy, oil, gas, financial services, global health, construction and infrastructure, materials, pharmaceuticals, again a very big industry out there. So even pharmacy students really have good place to be there. The job trends, I mean, these are the skills. These are not jobs, but these are skills which are very popular. Big data analytics, app and web-based tools, Internet of Things, AI, ML, cloud computing, augmented and virtual reality, UI UX, yeah, very popular again. Cyber security, new materials, environmental friendly materials, again a very popular thing out now. So students who want to go for that can also engage into that. Wearable electronics, blockchain, autonomous robotics, biotechnology, you name it, and most of the technologies are very popular out there. Yeah, humanities don't be out of place because technology is not there, but yes, there's still other programs. But yes, we'll have to discuss, because what's your aim is very important to understand with US. Yeah, so this is how this thing comes in. So those job packages for different things we have mentioned. So typically, it will range from 60 to $75,000. If I'm a working professional, it may go to almost like $85,000 to $100,000 as well. But for your calculation, count $70,000, because that will give you a very grounded and a very safe calculation to be made in that case. And the maths which I explained you previously, right? So yes, it is a rewarding journey. But first, you have to invest yourself, not only money wise, time wise, but fully mentally into it. Because then only you would be able to do that. The next 2 years when you go to US has to be very, very motivated, has to be very, very charged up, because you have several things to do and hit that first job. The moment you hit that first job, then churning into other ones, or shifting to other ones, is something which you'll pick up very beautifully. But to get your first job, it is a task. Okay, it is a task, but majority of them succeed. But that doesn't mean that you'll be very complacent on it. It is also something which I want to bring to you is that, okay, I also want to bring to your notices, we have career placements or campus placements in India, right? That is something which I want to break here. They do not have campus placement. So if I'm going to say Carnegie Mellon, or say I'm going to Columbia, or I'm going to New York University with a hope that I'm going to the best of the best university, thinking there would be the best company like Google, Amazon, all of them lined up to take me up, that's not gonna happen. Because in countries like this, maybe US, maybe Canada, maybe UK, they don't have the concept of campus placement. They only have career fairs. It is like you go to a real estate exhibition. The building is not there. The brochure is there, right? You just virtually see, okay, this is how it is. So they show you what kind of jobs are open, what are the packages open and stuff. And that way, of course, you do a little elevator pitch with them and stuff, and you try to get their contact. You get that, and then you apply. Basically, you're applying to them. Okay, so saying this, it is all online. A company like Google, which I'm sure a lot of you may be dreaming to work with, they have 8 rounds of interviews. Mental, intellectual, emotional, I don't know what not. It is open for everyone. So even if a Columbia student wants to go to Google, have to clear that 8 round. If I'm from Pace University, even that guy has to clear it. There's no benchmark for Google that from which university are you coming in. Like in India, it happens, right? If I'm an IITian, I would get it the best package, right? However, that is not how it would happen there. If you are someone who can clear that 8 rounds, more than welcome. We'll see you in the 9th round. All 8 rounds are all system generated. Okay, so saying this, that's the beauty of US again. Why? Because because of my current percentage or something, I may not be able to get in the top 20. It still gives me an opportunity to work with the top 10 employers. Now that is something which you have to change the attitude here and see it as an opportunity. Yeah, so that's how that's why US is so popular, because not all with the best scores or the best GRE go to US, right? There's always going to be a majority which are not in that, and they still achieve their dreams. Yeah, all right. Now we come to the next destination, that's Germany. Yeah, can you breathe again? All right, okay. So coming to Germany, why is it so popular? Or why is it so exciting to Indian crowd? Can you all tell me? Free education, right? Yeah. I just said earlier there are no free lunches, right? I take my word here that there is actually a free lunch. There is actually a free lunch here. Why? There's a need. Do you know the need why they're giving you free education? बहुत पैसा है तो ऐसे ही उड़ाना है. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. The good part is, I mean, sad for them, I feel bad, but yeah, the good part about for us is they have aging population. Yeah. Now, as they have aging population, and Germany as a background to them, do you think Germany is rich for any kind of natural resources? Most of the country have a lot of natural resources like oil and other places and stuff, and that's why they are really rich, or the economy is really rich because of that. Germans are known for all that they've developed, right? How lovely it looks when a car goes by, right? A German car always makes that factor. Most of the products of Germans are known, like even it could be a mixer. Our moms will always say, oh, the German brands are more, always stable, durable, and stuff that way. And they always come with very one important aspect, and that's quality. Yeah, maybe car, maybe any electronic tool, or maybe any of it, they're always known for the quality that they bring to you. Yeah, saying this, they need people because they have aging population. As they need people, they need people who can fit into their system. For that, they put you into the education framework, and then they absorb you into the system. Now, as it is free, can they take everyone and anyone? Right? They're not doing any charity. They need, that's why they've opened up. Otherwise, earlier they were not even keen on that. We all know Germans are very linguistic, right? They're very linguistic. They take pride in their country, and they are really, sometimes weird, I would say. Yeah. So saying this, they need people, and they want the smarter, the fitter, and the most charged up person. Now, this is not only that Indians are applying there. Now, guys, understand the competition level. Even an American is trying to get into a German university. Why? Because even their country don't give them free education. Correct? So saying this, they have limited seats and competition across the globe. Yeah. So yes, it is free, but unfortunately, it is way more competitive to get as compared to even US or other places. Yeah. So now Germany is known for a lot of things. Of course, no tuition fee becomes the most attractive. It is so nice to listen. It rings in your ears, right? No tuition fee for the quality that they are going to provide you. So yes, no tuition fee. Renowned universities. They have really well-known universities. TU Munich, TU Berlin, RWTH Aachen, and you can go on and go on and on. And they're really nice universities. Very popular for research and development. So it's a dream place if someone wants to do research and stuff, and very popular for that. A land of innovation, I need not say, we all see their innovation every day. Degrees are recognized worldwide. It's a land of engineering. So engineering people and technology people, so it's like a mecca out there. Mechanical engineering to another level mecca out there. So I would say it's amazing. Of course, a country of very lesser landmass, but still among the top 4 superpower, talks a lot about, like, just imagine how big US is, how big Russia is, but just imagine a country of that landmass only and still being among the top 4, the top 5 super index economic country. That means a lot and talks a lot about them. So Germany definitely is a world player. German tags products are very popular everywhere, and it's a healthy economy. That means it is an economy which has full control over it, doesn't have very disturbing neighbors and stuff. So it's a calm and a safe place to be into. So definitely a lot of things ticks us as Indians out to be there. Yeah. So saying this, let's see how we can make it or we cannot make it there. Yeah. We have to be realistic. Yeah. So saying this, there are 2 kinds of universities in Germany. I mentioned in US about the education system, but there that was different. STEM concept, all that. Do not apply the same year again. That's why we are doing 2 separate PPTs for them. Yeah. Here, the universities, there are 2 kind of universities there. TU universities and FH. Yeah. TU is basically universities which are research oriented universities, okay, wherein a lot of research carries out. There's a lot of PhDs which can be offered to you. So research oriented and it offers PhD. Masters is also there, definitely, but with a thesis at the end. And FH is an applied sciences university. That means there's no research work. So if I want to go for a PhD, I cannot go for FH. But I don't care for a PhD. I'm okay going for FH also, right? That means all semesters are subjects to be studied. There's no thesis in the end. Like the final semester is not thesis. It is going to be subjects only. Okay. So this is the only difference. Apart from that, if you would say, is that TU universities are more popular than FH? I would say in Germany, if you get any university which is offering you free education, go for it. It just has to be recognized by DAD. Have you all heard of the body DAD? Yes, DAD is a German missionary, education missionary, which is spreading German education. They had to do all this because they want people to be aware of, right? So saying this, as long as my university is recognized by DAD, I can blindly go to that university. Okay, there are no rankings apart from the TU9s. The TU9 is like the 9 universities which are there, right there. Okay, I do not have to be very stick to those nines only. Yes, I have a good profile, we will apply, but you apply to others also. Yeah, because it's very competitive. Yeah, so these are the two kind of thing. They have two intakes, which is again very different than US. October and March. October is their main intake. All universities, all courses open. March, summer is a smaller intake. Okay, that means it is going to have lesser universities, only 40% of them. Apart from that, any other defect or anything, any other problem? No, again, like US. Go for any intake that appeals you or is suitable for you. Apart from that, you don't have any other trouble out there. Okay, so these are the two intakes. Again, to apply, the deadlines are as early as US. Any intake, guys, understand, start the process a year prior. Keep that in mind. Don't wait until your degree finishes and then you sit and then your parents start questioning you, ab kya karoge, ab kya karoge. Just because they're questioning, then you tell, oh, I'm going abroad. That looks very lame. That looks very lame. Yeah. So please be very ignited about how you're going to do things further. Okay. So this is how it happens. Now the application requirements for Germany, similar, so I'm not talking, just that the SOP is called as a letter of motivation, which is LOM here. Rest of all the documents is similar. Very important, German language. I'll talk about it later on. Yeah. So these are the similar things which are there out there. GRE, is it necessary in Germany? 95% no. 5% yes. Typically for the engineering courses, and more than that for mechanical engineering, as I said, that is like the top-notch one. Otherwise, not required. But a GMAT may be required for a master's in management program or some business programs. Okay, all right, yeah. What is the admission officer looking out? Now just imagine the plight of that admission officer who is looking at so many applications, because so many of us want free education, right? Yeah, so he is looking at very differently as what a US admission officer may be looking at, right? They really are focused on grades. Unfortunately, guys, if you have not met the grades nicely because of whatever reason, your first year was not good, your second year was not good, your chances are very less. Sorry, but I just want to be very truthful out there. Yeah, the chances are very less. I'm not negating it. It is debatable, it is questionable. We need to know the entire profile. Okay, the grades play very crucial role out there. But of course, if you have done something else to compensate with, we'll talk about it. Okay, I don't know right now. So grades are very important. Relevant course. In US, I mentioned you can change courses. They're very warm and welcoming about it. Yeah, a commerce student can go for a degree into technology, but a commerce student applying for a technology degree in Germany may definitely not work. Lot of chances are there it may not work. So the change, a change into your career, Germany is not that welcoming out there. Now, why would they do say, or why do you think, is it, you might think it's wrong for them to do that. But boss, they're not there to, correct your career or correct or make you give an opportunity. They want a person in their system who is from that background and who loves that background. Right? They can't take a chance on giving a free education to a person who is still doubtful in their journey what they want to do. Correct? Yeah. So changing the course and looking for Germany may be difficult out there. Okay. Internships, work experience, projects, vocational qualification. As much as you can add to your profile, do that. Really helps. They love you having practical experience with your degree. So they really love about that. Yeah. So these are few things which they look out for. Deadlines, as I mentioned, the winter intake, summer intake, almost go a year prior, I would say. At least 10 months prior. Yeah. Whichever intake you're looking out for. Yeah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have questions which are normally asked by students for Germany and explain the format. Yeah. So saying this, what would it cost me to attain my German education? We all very loudly said free education, right? Yes, it has. There is no marketing gimmick over here. Even if they have, then they have like admin fees of 500 or 1000 euros per semester. Hardly anything, right? So that is the only fees. Actually, there is no other fees which they take in when the education is free done. There are also certain universities. Majority at Education Street, we try for students with free. But of course, not all profiles go that way, right? Some do not have that strong grades and they still want to go to Germany. So we don't close the doors for them. There are universities which you can apply where the fees would range from 20,000 to 28,000 euros per year. So Europe, if you see, it's a myth. People think it is expensive than US also. Ideally, it is not. The education in Germany, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Netherlands, Ireland is much more cheaper than US. Yeah. So that is how, even if it is paid, a lot of parents are okay because they still get to step into a country which is of very high demand, right? Living cost is around 11,208 euros, approximately again 8 lakhs. Yeah, most of the country, the living cost is going to be around 7 to 8 lakhs. Yeah. So this will include all of it, and then you have to just pay for health insurance in Germany. So just letting you know, okay, when it is free, what may come to you. If it is a free university, there's actually only the living cost that you have to pay attention to. That is the 7 lakh rupees or 8 lakh rupees, which could be done by loan. Eventually, you could remove that also by earning. Okay, so that is how it becomes very convenient for people to apply for Germany. Now, am I allowed to stay in the country post my education? We all want that post stay back option, right? Now in US, as I said, if it is only STEM, you get 3 years. If it is non-STEM, 1 year, right? Here, STEM, non-STEM, there is no concept of that. You go for any degree. Okay? That STEM concept is only US. So do not apply it anywhere else. Okay? Any other country you go in, there is no concept of STEM or non-STEM. You get to stay there for 1.5 years to find your job. Okay? After that, a lot of students also apply for EU Blue Card. EU Blue Card is as good as a work permit, not only to work in Germany, but then you can go to any European nation. Now that becomes a very eye candy thing for students because जाना है नहीं जाना है पता नहीं पर वो freedom अच्छा लगता है, right? So that is how the EU Blue Card comes in picture. Yeah. Can I work part time while I'm studying? Yes, same. Most of the country give you this 20 hours per week. समझ के चलो. Yeah. So this is what every country given default. This is a default answer for most of the countries which allow you to work part time. But there's a difference. US gives you only you can work part time on campus in the first year. अब on campus तो सबको job नहीं लग सकती, right? तो normally second year ही सबको job लगती है. But that only you go to like Europe or you go to say Australia or New Zealand, you can work on campus or off campus from the first day itself. So you have more job opportunities to work part time. Yeah. Now, as I mentioned, German language. Yeah, a very critical point here, which doesn't have a direct yes or no. I would just say कि yes, eventually for a student to settle in Germany, get a part-time job in Germany, be comfortable, navigate himself or herself nicely in Germany, German language initially आपको सीखना ही पड़ेगा. Okay? Later on, not initially, you can apply to most of the universities without German language. We've had students who have not done German language at all and have still got admits. So for admission per se, it is not compulsory. But for your living, because actually whoever had been, or like I'll share my experience, actually everything is in German. Like there's no English at all. Even in a proper prominent tourist place, there is no English written anywhere. That what do you say, convinced they are with their language that they're not ready to change at all into it. Saying this, you need to be there, right? To say hi, hello, some help, whatever. So starting with German language is very, very important. Okay. So there are different levels of languages. Life would be easier over there. Different level A1, A2, B1, TESDAF, DSH. All these exams are conducted by their language missionary, which is Goethe Max Miller. You can learn and study German from any app, any teacher, any coaching, this thing. But you cannot get that certificate from anybody else. You have to get the certificate from them. Okay, so go online, check their schedule. They also have classes, but they normally get full. If not, look however you want to and plan your exams. Yeah, so if you're really serious about Germany and want to increase your chances, I would say do it. But if academics are good and something like that, it is not compulsory while applying. The admission is not. So because when we shortlist the universities, we look for courses which are completely taught in English. Okay, we any which ways can't go, because if we have to go for German taught, we have to have a level of TESDAF, which almost takes 2.5 years. Yeah, so that proficiency though we will not have only. So saying this, we have to go for English taught programs. Yeah, so that's how it is. So am I eligible to apply? Now this is a question which I need to understand each one of your profile, which I cannot do at this forum. But of course, we invite all of you to be at our office. Our office is in Mulund, and you can actually book an appointment. We have given you the contacts and everything to have a one-on-one session with me or my counselors and my team to understand whether what is possible for you and what is not possible for you. Yeah. So this is where Germany could be a possibility, a great destination and a great economic saver. But let's see, hope so it's not a bummer for us. So we need to understand that at the initial stage only. Yeah. Now this is the counseling services. So both for US and Germany, we provide a very, very detailed version of counseling. All these services, right from shortlisting your universities to your, course selection. A lot of you are also confused कि मैं business analytics जाऊँ या information system जाऊँ या robotics जाऊँ या management जाऊँ या journalism जाऊँ, whatever. Saying this, that's exactly which is a part of our counseling. Okay, so we engage with that right from course, university, shortlisting, application material, editing your essays, editing your letter of recommendation, filling up your forms. I did not talk about that. Every country, US and Germany particularly, literally has 10 to 15 pages of form. And Germany is one of the another level of pain. My counselor Madhvi, she's the head counselor of Germany, and she can cry out for it anytime because it's that changing, that dynamic. Shubham is also there. They'll talk about like how difficult it is for German universities to fill out, because it's not something which I'm just scaring you, but it is very different and critical in that case. So saying this, it takes really long time. So we fill in all the forms, we engage with you wherever you are. It doesn't matter, in Mumbai, anywhere. Most of our processes go online. Zoom, WhatsApp, emails, telephone, all of these technologies come in till you get your visa and pre-departure. That is what our support and services happen. We have let you out the services prices as well in the folder. So US and Germany, we have different, we have paid counselors. So in the start, as we were saying, in the entire presentation, I've not spoken about any university or promoting any kind of this thing, because we are not recruiters, we are counselors. We actually love to counsel students and support them in their journey, how they wish to happen, and be a mentor to them. Rather than me giving you a menu card in the folder, these are the universities which we are associated with. You come and you apply for it. That's a very two different approach, and we don't do that. We only call ourselves purely a counselor because we want to know what you want to achieve, and then we help you to achieve that. That is where we come. We take the terms from you. We don't dictate the terms. Okay, you apply for these universities and go for it. So if you want such kind of counseling services, our doors are more than welcome for all of you to be there. In fact, before that, come down, talk to us, understand the thing again one on one with you, and that's exactly where you'll get more trust on us. So this is how the counseling thing comes in. The prices are already shared with you all. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah. So this is the last thing where we had to end. So we covered about US. We covered about Germany. We also, have a lot of other countries that we do in. Maybe, you're looking for New Zealand, you're looking for UK. We also do multi-country. So say with Germany, we know the chances are less. We always tell a student to have a backup country also to apply with. So in the counseling, we also do that, so that at the end, you're not left with, nothing in hand, right? So this is how the approach works. Is there are a lot of things that we keep, suggesting and guiding you through and through. Today, we'll open up for questions, okay? And you ask us the questions and stuff. After that, we also have a student named Umang. Umang, you can just raise your hand, yeah. So he's a geoscientist at ONGC. Oh, there's one more Umang. Oh, your namesake is there. Sorry, I was calling him. Yeah. So saying this, he'll share his journey also about how he had his experience, and how he has now working as a professional. Also about Germany, he earned a full-time internship in Norway later on. So he'll talk about that as well. But before that, I would love to have your questions if you have anything for us. Yes. Can you give the mic?
My second daughter is already finished physiotherapy.
Okay.
So what would you suggest for her? Like if she
Yeah.
wants to do physiotherapy over there,
Correct. Yeah.
not into the medical services, but
Yeah.
work as a physiotherapist?
Yes. So physiotherapy is a very, very, critical area, because it's like from the medicine derived, and of course a lot of medicine degrees of India are not directly applicable. Mostly that happens with MBBS and stuff. But with physiotherapy, earlier days US was one of the great destination to be in, where MPT was agreed upon degree. But now they want all the physiotherapists to be DPT. That is a one level below. So saying this, that is something which is still not being open for Indian physiotherapists, because it's a 3-year degree, which no one would abide to. But they're coming with transitional DPTs, which is going to be 18 months. But there are very few options for that. So I would say US would be very limited option, but you could definitely look for Australia and UK. We have placed students, physiotherapists, directly to a master's in physiotherapist in this thing. Both are very PR oriented. They have good courses into it, and she also doesn't have to go into allied programs like public health or hospital administration. She need not go for that. So she could actually go for Australia and UK, which they have limited courses, limited universities, which accept Indian students from physiotherapy background.
So if we are planning for UK, so right now she's doing her internship.
Yeah, so that's a final year, right?
Yeah.
So she needs to start now, because in physiotherapy they also have to get the transcript evaluated by a third party. That takes time. So all those things process start. So you're actually in the right position to start for next year only.
And she would be needing only the IELTS, right?
IELTS exam, correct.
That would be the only.
Yes, it will suffice. Yes.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. So, how would you comment for masters in clinical psychology in Germany?
Okay, what's your background? What have you studied?
I am in second year BA.
Yeah. So BA with psychology is very different from clinical psychology. We get so many students for this. It's like, so saying this, clinical psychology requires a background of sciences, chemistry, neuroscience, biology, anatomy, a lot of these things which you have not done. Clinical psychology means you're treating patient. To treat a patient or give them any kind of drug or any kind of treatment, you need to have the human anatomy, the chemistry, all these other things as a background. However, you don't have that. You come from a bachelor of arts with psychology. This psychology is a part of counseling. Counseling is a different degree altogether, which could go into lead you into say counseling of autistic kids, health counseling, mental counseling, which is like a big, industry now, admission counseling, school counseling, language therapies. So there are so many different kind of things which you could go in for, but clinical psychology, you don't have the base. Then in that case, you'll have to go for a bachelor's in science again. So you'll have to shift your focus to the counseling part of psychology. Yeah?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
I am right now in second year BSc. I'm pursuing microbiology and chemistry right now. So apart from engineering courses like mechanical engineering and all those other things, how Germany is open for other courses? What are the opportunities available?
So you said you've done
Microbiology and chemistry.
microbiology and chemistry.
Yeah.
So you're saying what would be other courses that you could go for
Yes.
in Germany?
No. Apart from engineering, what are the other courses
What
I
are
would
applicable to you,
yeah,
right?
which is
So you want to
applicable for me?
continue the same field
Yes,
or you don't
I want to
Of course,
continue.
there are very good programs in that. So I spoke about engineering because it's a mecca for it, but sciences also like chemistry, molecular, inorganic, organic, whatever you name it and stuff. There are very good programs for those as well.
So compared to UK, is Germany better than UK?
So again, in this, what will happen? You have done 15 years of education.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a concept called as ECTS in Germany, wherein a lot of degrees, a lot of the courses want a certain level of subjects that you have studied in. Now, I cannot comment whether you have done that or not at this stage, at this platform. But typically, if we fall short of it, then Germany becomes difficult for you. Okay, but if you have done that well enough, your university transcripts and stuff which we can check in, you can of course apply for Germany with a parallel country, I would say, to be on a safer note. So you put an attempt to Germany and you also apply for other country and you see what admits you have in hand. But it's not a no for you. It's not a no for you.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
I'm a mechanical engineer. So I wanted to ask if the FH Applied Science Universities in Germany have a 1 year course or is it a 2 year course?
So applied sciences also vary from courses to courses. Most of them would be for 2 years, but 2 years or 1.5 year, very few for 1 year. That is how it is.
Okay, so is it necessary to have my course in mechanical or is it I can shift my domain into something else?
So you have done mechanical engineering.
Yes, with 1 year of experience.
With
Yeah.
1 year. So you don't want to go for mechanical engineering.
Yes.
So you
other
could
domain.
opt for supply chain, which is still more relevant. You could also go for industrial engineering. You could go for manufacturing and production. You could also go for automation. So these are few added programs which are still suitable for you to go after mechanical engineering. But if you say I want to shift completely to say computer science or something that way, then Germany would be a tricky thing for you.
So would it be an MS or MSc?
So in Germany it is MSc. US calls it MS.
Okay,
But
so
it doesn't matter to us.
would that be difficult to shifting to other domain like IT?
In Germany, yes,
Yes.
that's what I said. In Germany, shifting from one branch to another is very critical for them. Very difficult. But if you shift from the area which I mentioned to you, like say supply chain management or logistics, or you go for say manufacturing and production or these areas, you still have a stand.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi ma'am. Good afternoon. I am actually from a commerce background. I have done my accounting, and in Germany, what are my chances? That is what I wanted to know. I'm not keen into finance. I don't mind, but what other options do I have in that?
So in Germany, I would just say again, like similar to him, Courses are there. See, Germany is a developed country, so all kind of courses are there, right? So right now you're not sure whether you want to go for finance, or you can go for marketing, you can go for supply chain operations, you can go for HR, you could go for strategy management. There are a lot of these areas. The only concern again in your area would come is the 15-year education. So the ECTS might be lesser than what you would expect for it. So it is a possibility. We could choose a specialization for you, but I would always recommend you to apply for a backup country with Germany.
If not Germany, then which other countries are possible?
A lot of things. Now that depends on whether what you're looking out for, right? I'm looking for a PR, I'm looking at this budget and stuff. So
PR is the end goal, basically.
end goal, right? Then Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Ireland, very UK.
But again, Canada is a 15. I'm a 15-year.
But Canada has two kinds of degrees, a PG and a master's.
Yeah.
So a PG can lead you to Canada beautifully and still get what you want with the lesser funding also. So those all things also comes in picture. So yes, it is still possible.
And how about Ireland? Is Ireland also an option?
So Ireland currently, guys, for all of you as well, it's become a Silicon Valley in Europe. Okay, after Brexit and a lot of things, a lot of companies shifted to Ireland. Saying this, it has become again a very good place to be in for technology jobs, pharmacy jobs, and financial jobs. Okay, so yes, it is a great destination for any kind of profile. So yes, Ireland is a great destination to be in. But Ireland again is very competitive. They have almost like 9 universities only. So even if you're going for next September 24, you apply now. They close like this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. That side also the mic increase. There also.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask, are there any entrance exams for universities in Germany?
Entrance exams. So I think GMAT and GRE could be one of them if they have some. Personally, typically to any of them, I don't think so, right? Only thing we had was some technical interviews they had, na? Sometimes they had to happen. No, right? Only this thing, no. Only GMAT or the GRE. If they have any entrance exam, it would be either GMAT or GRE, okay? Or IELTS and TOEFL, so is any which is compulsory.
Okay, so no particular exam for.
No particular exam that we've come across, yeah. I just remember one of the student having a technical round.
Okay.
Like, a technical round of, whatever. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm in my last year of mechanical engineering. So I just want to ask about the tuition fees waiver scheme. So is in Germany, is there only for German taught programs or English also?
No, English taught. Why would I talk about German taught?
Okay.
You cannot go only for German taught because you need to have a proficiency of test tab, which is almost like 2.5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
You wouldn't have any which has been here if you have done test tab.
Okay. And ma'am, talking about I'm in my last year right now. So should I directly continue my masters or should I have a kind of work experience?
Yeah, so very important question. A lot of parents and students ask me that whether I should study and work here and then go, or whether I should go directly. Now this question, I would have a question back to you all. Okay, do you have a nice opportunity after your degree? If yes, pursue it. Okay, if you think there is nothing and you're going to while your time, then you go for your masters. You plan that way. Okay, so I would always say there's no harm in taking experience and then going. Of course, it will help you only. It will also either one thing, it will always help you more confidently कि यही पढ़ना है. See, sometimes somewhere we are always very not sure of what we want to study. So in that case, a work experience can add that confidence to you. So I would not deny the fact that in case if some of you have job experience and you want to take it up and then go, it depends on you. What is your status right now? If I am someone who doesn't have any campus placement after my degree, or I'm not going to get, or even if I'm going to get, it's going to be something which I really don't want to do. In that case, I utilize my time, right? So the question is back to you to decide whether you have an opportunity or you don't have an opportunity. If you don't, then my advice is time is more than money, right? Time is really more expensive than money. So saying that, then I utilize to do a master's. But yes, if you have an opportunity, pursue it, do it, go by it, and then go for it. There's no closing doors for you any which ways. Yeah?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Hi.
recession is going on recently. So is it good to apply for Germany right now?
Session going on?
Recession.
Recession. Okay. All right. Okay. So, guys, this takes me back to my days. I had gone in 2008, 2009. I don't know. A lot of you may be very little then, and you would not remember there was a big US recession which had come down. I think that's the first time I understood the word recession. I didn't knew only that what recession means or anything. And the first day when I started my class, the dean comes and he says Lehman Brothers crashed. So how naive I was, I thought the building crashed. So actually it was the company which crashed, and then the entire domino effect had started, wherein everything came back to back and back to back and back to back. The entire year of my MBA went with that fear that I would not get a job. What a wrong timing! How I wish I wouldn't have come, and all the stories which you can think about. Okay, the only thing which always kept me coming back is I couldn't do anything about it. The only thing is that I'm already here. Now let me do my best. Yeah. I'm not saying here standing that I was very wise, but this is what I did and it worked for me. And after the recession, in the peak of recession, I got a job with British Petroleum. This story is not to share my glory or anything, but to give you hope. Even if it does happen, I don't know whether right now there is a recession or not, because I think we have very limited. I have very limited expertise when it comes to because nowhere officially it is said or done or anything that it's a recession or so. Yes, every country goes through an up and down. Okay, in terms of economics, we can still work. In terms of war, we cannot do anything, right? So I think economically, yes, it may be like the best flourishing country right now, and the next few years it may be something else. The only thing that you have to trust is yourself. I know it's very psychologically, philosophically put here, but I'm just saying this because this is what worked for me, and this is what worked for a lot of students who suffered COVID. Like, just imagine the plight they were in when they were in US. The COVID happened, it shut down, and they were have to do their entire degrees, paying so much online. But today it passed, and they're all there, still and making up for whatever time or whatever loss they did it. So what I would say is, if it is recession now, I would say it's always best to go at this time only, because when you're at the bottom, you're only going to go up. So if any country is at the bottom and you enter, good, because by the time you're studied in, you're in the green signal again, and as the country is growing, even you're growing by. So I would say yes, recession, all these things may come to your journey when you're going abroad or even in India, yeah, wherever you are. But I would say just build our fort that strong that we can survive them, and we can, actually get ourselves going in that. Yeah.
And about the war also, because of the war, the
Yes.
Indian government is not sending people there.
Indian people not sending.
Yeah,
We have a lot of students going.
not like that. Because of the war, there are a lot of things like visa.
So I'll tell you, because of war, I'll tell you what has happened. One part which I will share is a lot of Ukrainians have been given shelter in Europe. That's not only Germany, but most of them. Yeah. So that has been their brotherhood to them, or whatever politic reason or whatever, which we are very small to say on this. But yes, it did impact the accommodation part, because a lot of accommodation which was normally opted for international students were given to the Ukrainians for this thing. May it be France, Maine, Netherlands, and stuff. Most of the places that is a crisis which we see. The Germany visa process, which is going slow. I can have, I mean, just because you have shorter time, but you can talk with Madhvi also later on. That has been a year-on story with them. And they have introduced a new concept for Germany, which I did not talk because I did not want it to all be confused, but there's a concept called as APS. APS is a new process which needs to get your passport, your academics validated, and then only go for the visa. People have applied from Jan month, and it's been almost like 4-5 months, and they've not got their APS. They have an offer from TU universities, they have everything, and they don't have dates. Now, this is something which is like a tyranny and a problem, which is a current scenario because of the new process which came in picture. Now, this happens every year for some country or the other. Like last 2 years, it was Canada. Like Canada was the highest country which gives highest rejections. 60% people got rejection for no reason. Yeah. So saying this, yes, certain countries do have certain problem at certain year because they're changing their processes, they're changing their systems and stuff. But you are someone who's going to go next year, so I am sure they are going to be up by then.
So I was working as well as I was doing my education. And in the third semester itself, I got a lot of backlogs. Then later on, I decided to quit the job just for the sake of exams, but it did not go well. So I decided to continue my job as well as continue my graduation. So currently, I graduated in 21, but alongside, I also have like work experience on the same flow. Like education and work experience was going parallel. So, and at the moment I have completed my IELTS. I tried to attempt for A2 Gote, but did not clear it. Later on, I have applied for APS certificate in May. However, I did not get any response. So I wanted to like, what will be the best thing for me? Like I wanted to
Okay.
go for
Yeah.
Germany itself. I decided
Yeah.
that this
Yeah.
is my last option.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
basically, like grades, will it matter? Because grades were not.
So did you apply to the universities? Did you
I
hear
haven't
back
applied
from?
at
Oh,
any
you just applied for
university.
APS.
I've applied only
Yeah.
for APS.
So saying this, it's a gray area here. Okay. Firstly, this is something which you all should understand. Work experience for any university or any country is work experience only if you have completed your education and then work. If you have done work experience with like him, wherein his situations were such, if you have done while you're studying along with your education, it is not termed as work experience by them, because for them you can only be working or studying, it cannot be both. If you're doing both, it can be counted as internships. Okay, so saying this, it could be counted as an internship that you're doing it. Okay, a student has to be studying full time or working full time. Okay, now saying this in your area, uh, definitely it is going to be a little difficult for them to understand this. However, you have done work experience for such a long time now, there would definitely be a weightage. Okay, can I define it as a clear yes or a no? No, I cannot, because I don't know which admission officer sees it as an opportunity and which admission officer sees it as a problem to them. Yeah, the only way for you is to apply. So even once your APS comes in, because even in APS it may be a problem for them, because they see the academics also. So all your mark sheets and this you must have uploaded, right? Right?
So in APS, it's just the marks and grades,
final.
and it doesn't count the work experience.
Correct, but they see the duration of the year na, that you took to complete your degree. That would be longer, right?
No, it is the same. Actually, what happened is in 2018, I started my graduation.
Okay.
As like I had completed my diploma, it was direct second year admission in mechanical. So at that time, I joined a company, but it was just for 5
So you
months.
finished in the same duration, but you were doing both the things together.
Yeah, it was
Even with
parallel.
KT, it happened with the same duration.
Yeah, it was in the same duration.
Okay,
The
all
work
right.
experience
Okay.
was in parallel.
Yeah. So in this case, yes, we will have to write a very nice letter of motivation to make them understand why you did this, okay, together and stuff, and also explain. So it is a possibility. Yes, the answer is yes, but of course a difficult one. A difficult one. But if you get an APS, it increases your chances.
Okay, so basically, I just wanted to.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is basically a lot even matters on what course you are looking to apply and what are your grades. So let's not say no that you can't apply or you cannot get through, because that is not the case. You certainly have chances to get through. Just that we need to evaluate your profile, we need to understand what you are targeting and place your education and your work experience together, because your work experience is also counted as an additional ECTS. So if you are coming to us, of course, I'll be able to help you on it, that how you can portray your profile, and we need to choose the right course. So if you play over ambitious, then of course, then it will become a little difficult. But if we are able to select the right course, we should be certainly able to crack it. So at least I can be sure of your dream of going to the country is something that I see a hope, but I don't know what you're targeting.
So basically, I'm targeting into engineering management, mostly
Yeah.
into engineering and management.
Yeah. So I think we should meet, yeah, personally, and then we can discuss that.
I think we'll take last two questions and then I'll have Umang to come on stage and share his experience with you all. Yeah.
All right, ma'am.
Yes.
Good afternoon. This is Harsh, and I've completed my computer science engineering. Last year, I have experience of 15 months
Great.
development side of things. I'm considering a switch into sales, maybe.
because I'm liking that part a little bit more, that section a little bit more. Will that hurt my bio? Will that hurt my application if I'm applying
Not
for
at all. Which country are you looking out for?
Mainly Germany, I mean.
Okay, so you could look for degrees like product management, technology management. These are really, really nice programs to go in for the kind of background that you are looking, typically into sales and stuff. So that will be very encouraging to your profile. Okay, so these two degrees could be very vital. Or I would say there are, of course, purely management degrees also, but I would say you pulling up a product management or a the technology management program that will still keep your foot and build upon it further rather than leaving it completely and learning HR also and marketing also and stuff that will really make you like not a specialized profile. So I would say these two degrees should be a good one for you.
All right, yeah, makes sense. I
Yeah.
appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry. I'll have it. We'll be here only. I'll be talking to you all. Yeah.
You said mock interview.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere is taking interview.
Correct. US.
So this is for US, not for
Yes.
Germany.
So this is mainly for US. US takes visa mocks. US visa is based on interview. A 30-second, 1 minute. I mean, people who have heard about it would know they're always dreading about that, but it is not supposed to be. But it's not about what university, what funds you have. They don't check any papers. It's directly questioning you that why you're going, what's your goal, what will you do after it, who's sponsoring you, and you have to answer that. So that is how it is. So it's a very different process. So every visa process is different from like each country. The process is different. Yeah.
Ma'am, my question is that is 3 years of degree is okay to get admission for the masters in Germany?
So answer is yes, okay, but with difficulty and the right choices of the courses. As I was explaining two of them, your ECTS matters what it is and which course we are applying. Like suppose the kind of credits they want is higher and we are applying to it, it may not be the right application for you. So your 15 years, there would be limited choices to apply with, but yes, there are choices to apply with.
I'm a finance student, I'm BSc IT student, so I can apply for the upcoming years in this year. Even I've not completed my graduations, I'm at the final year.
Yeah, so any which ways you have to start earlier, na? You have to start the process earlier for next year.
If they are accepting 16 years of education, even after completing
Even
my
if you're not see, so we are counting the whole degree only, assuming you're going to clear it.
I have heard that if they are it is mandatory to complete the 16 years of education.
It is not so the best solution would be to apply with a degree completed.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 or 16. You will have more options when it comes to Germany, not US, guys. US is more than welcoming to apply with your last 2 semesters not being there. But Germany, yes, I would say it is more appropriate to apply after the degree is open, closed. Now done. Sorry. Whether 15 years and 16 years is a problem, yes, a lot of universities want higher credits. So I cannot apply to them. But are there options for you? Yes, there are options for you. We have to shortlist the universities rightfully for you.
For the more chances, can we do a 1 year of masters here and then we can apply?
Yes. So again, this is also a lot of students and parents think of that, to go to a country, I'll do 1 more masters here and then I will go. It's highly debatable, guys. Don't try to fit into something which you cannot directly, because what you're doing is a compromise thing. Don't waste your time. What you're going to do is you're going to waste your time just because you want to get into something else. Yeah, that 1 year masters, probably in India also most of the MSIT are for 2 years. Am I right?
Yes.
So you do only 1 year out of the 2 years.
Yes.
So when I apply to the US university or the German universities, they know you have not completed your degree. It is not adding up. It is just like whiling your time and wasting your time just because you want to fit into something. Don't try to fit into what you are. And then choose what it is. Yeah, don't try to just mingle around, because then you're stretching your career. Then I would say you work here, do the best that you get it and then look for it. That's how the career should go in. It should not be just because you have to make some fitting in out and that's why you're doing about it.
And one last question. In case of IELTS, can we just give the language certificate if we have completed our degree in English language instead of IELTS?
Medium of instruction.
Medium instruction.
So there are some universities which take other mostly no, and even AP, all these systems coming in, it's very important that you take up IELTS or TOEFL. That's very important.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Shubham?
Shubham, give sir na. That would be the last question, guys. But don't worry, we are going to be hanging out here, and there's also a student who would like to quickly talk to you all about his experience, which will help you all. Yeah.
Being a biomedical student, which country is a better option and what's the scope like?
So biomedical definitely is a very not upcoming, it's a very, very strong industry. Siemens being one of them and Germany being the place of that. So of course Germany is very, very recognized, biomedical instruments and stuff and all, biomedical engineering, whatever field, biomedical sciences. So there are varied areas. Both US and Germany are very popular for this. Yeah, and apart from that, of course, most of the popular destinations, UK is one of the popular destination for it. Australia also has good option for it. So I would say biomedical is a very empowering degree because very few and it's a niche area, so it gives you a very good bandwidth for it. Yeah.
Okay, and in case if you have done an education to Germany, if you wish to work in US bigger companies, do you get an opportunity to switch to work over there?
All countries are open, sir. Your degree is accepted everywhere. But who will give you the visa until and unless there is no reason? You need an entry point, right? So your existing company is sending you to US, yes, possible. But if my dream is only I want to at the end work in US, might as well I navigate you to US first rather than Germany. Because visa is very critical, even how capable you are. But if you don't have the visa, you can't go there. Right? A lot of engineers here earlier used to get H1B from India, right? You remember time where TCS, Infosys used to send so many engineers on site. But now US has stopped it. They don't give H1Bs to them. They give H1Bs to people who are studying there. So that is when navigate yourself where you want to actually eventually work. All right, guys. So
what about the scholarship? Like, when do we have to apply for scholarship and what
scholarship?
is the eligibility?
Germany, it is already like free education. So that is said and done. That there is, of course, there are certain DART scholarships and stuff which you can apply once you have an offer. US, there is no separate procedure for scholarship. You apply on time. With the offer, you get the scholarships.
So when do we have to apply for scholarship?
Application, November, December, you have to apply. There's no separate procedure for scholarship.
Okay.
There's no separate procedure. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. You've been really wonderful. I really enjoyed my team.